I want us to do something radical. I want us to do something. I want us to stomp our feet, and I want us to march towards progress. And I want us to achieve something. I want us to achieve something for this family. And so I'm asking you to text me. We're going to make this a petition. This is only if you agree with this, of course. But I'm going to turn this into a petition with your support and lobby the government on behalf of this family. But imagine if it was you and your family. This is how it goes. So Frans and his wife and 2 kids. He's got 3, but 2 kids. They want to get out of Joburg because it's awful, as you can imagine. And they want a better life, hard-working South Africans, and they want to get out and get on with their lives rather than have the constant thought that they may not make it through the day because they're in Joburg. So they apply to come to New Zealand, and yeah, everything's fine, but the New Zealand authorities don't let their eldest son in. But it's all promised that they'll sort it out and everything. So they come to New Zealand and they leave their eldest son with the grandparents back in South Africa because he had a stroke during birth and so he's got a slight speech impediment and a stutter. But he's entirely capable, and especially in terms of physical work and everything. And he's the family, obviously have to put a lot of work into him, and so he's really developed. And the New Zealand government for 9 years has blocked him coming to New Zealand to join the rest of the family. It is just traumatic. This guy works hard, has a business, pays tax, is involved with local rugby club, coaches, president or chairman of the rugby club, whatever it is. Has his own business, employs New Zealanders. They pay tax. I mean, the guy's just the perfect immigrant. It's just what we want. But the family, we've played God with this family because we've blocked them being a complete family. Which I would hate to be making that decision. I mean, and it just seems so heartless. The letter is cold, and the letters always have been cold. I've met the family. I've read the reports into this, and I'm just sticking my neck out and saying I think it's wrong, and I think we as a country we need to step up and say, hang on a second, we're bringing 100,000 immigrants last year. How good are all of them? This is a good family, a great family, contributing to New Zealand. So if you support them and you think they should be allowed to have their boy here, it's just traumatic, text me. I'm going to put this towards a petition to lobby the government. Just text me. 50-50 is the text. You guys know how to do it. You've done it before. And I want to see hundreds and hundreds of texts come in, hopefully, if you support the case. And we will, and I'll print those off and I'll take them to government because that's a start anyway. Where's Luxon and Chris Pink in this one? Where are they? Anyway, I think it's a shocker, and I think the government's made the wrong decision, and it's just heartbreaking for the family. I mean, you can put yourself in their shoes, and you imagine it. Just awful. Frans joins us now on the program. G'day, Frans. Nice to see you, mate. Welcome.
Morning. How are you guys?
Yeah, not too bad. Well, I've certainly we've had a huge amount of reaction to this already. How are you? How have you been? Where are you at now? So you've had that letter. I've got the letter in my hand here. There's a cold-hearted letter that says, sorry, we're not going to intervene. It's bloody heartbreaking stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. I mean, like I said on a previous show, this is our last door. We've tried all avenues. The only door we see is that we need to make a big noise around this and get the guys to actually review this personally. I don't think they've actually looked at the documents, and I still have no clear direction if I'm going to get my boy here or not.
Yeah, tell us about your boy so people get an understanding of his of his disadvantage or his struggle. What I mean, how bad is it? Well, you tell us.
Yeah, so I'll just go back to the history so people can understand where we come from. So Jaden was born in 2009. There were some complications with birth where he went into distress, and we think at that point in time he actually had a stroke during that period. There was some slight damage on the brain that's impaired his speech as well as his global development overall. He's been tested for all other things like autism, all of that stuff. He doesn't have anything like that at all. It's purely due to a stroke he had. So he's now 15, and he's, with all the therapy we've put him through, he's actually developed so much And immigration has noted that in their report as well, that he's developed significantly, and that he's now borderline, and that he will not need the ORS or not qualify for ORS. That's in there. But then there was 2 medical officers, assessors, that said differently. So they looked at the reports only. Jaden now currently is, when you look at him, if you don't talk to him, you will not know there's an issue until you start talking to him. You can hear there's a speech impairment. He's a bit slow. He stutters a lot. So, I mean, mentally wise, he's probably sitting mentally of a boy 10 or 11. But he can do work. I cannot see how he will be a burden on the system if he's going to work in this country and contribute like I'm doing and my wife's doing and like my boys will do. So that's where we sit at the moment. And that's where he sits. He does miss us. And in immigration's letter as well, or the tribunal, when we ask for special circumstances, their view is that he's been that side for half his life, and we've been here half our life with my boys. So it's okay for them to be separated. They just need to get used to it. That's basically what they're saying, and I do not. It doesn't sit well with me. They don't treat him like a human, and I'm not the only family in this boat. There's other families in similar boats where I think the government needs to look at things more prospectively around what can this kid contribute in the future. Don't look about just now. The lifespan.
Well, how traumatic is it having him away from his parents? How traumatic is it having him away from the nuclear family? I mean, that's a big decision.
Yeah. I mean, and we're getting a lot of judgment. Yes, that's our call. Yeah, I agree. That's our call. We made a judgment call because the government, immigration, gave us all visas in the beginning, and we thought, well, if they did that, then obviously there's a hope that we can get Jaden in on that last, keep appealing for it. That didn't happen. We're still here today fighting. So, yeah, I just want them to meet me face to face, meet my boy, and actually, look and see how he can actually contribute, because I know he will.
Yeah. I'm sure you do, and sit down with you guys and shake hands and look you in the eye. I mean, how can you make a decision on something so critical and so crucial when you haven't? If in the 9-year fight they could walk past you in the street and they wouldn't know you. I mean, you're a taxpayer. You run your own business.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, run my own business. I employ people. Yeah, I mean, the economy is a tough place to be in at the moment, but we're boxing along, and I mean, I'm here to work in this country and build a future for my kids. Yeah, I love this place, man. I honestly do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It breaks my heart seeing how they treat us. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know either. And so, you went into Chris Luxon's electorate office to get help?
Yes, mate. So we've got the first step. Obviously, we've done the tribunal thing. That was declined. We went to the ministerial on that one. That was declined again. And then I thought, well, the last one I can do is actually to go to Luxon's office. He's the big dog. Maybe he can make some calls or actually review the thing physically. And the letter I got back from Chris Pink was that's it. I'm not going to intervene. Basically a one-liner. Which to me is just like, they're sticking to their guts on the policy side instead of looking at this case as, what's best for this family, what's best for Jaden, and also what's best for this economy, right? I mean, to me, it just doesn't make sense. The mathematics don't make sense. We're a family of 5. 4 of us are here. 2 of us are already contributing to the economy. My other 2 boys are going to contribute in the next 8 years, maybe 10, right? Jaden will contribute in some way. So how does that not make sense of making money for the economy? I don't get it.
What I haven't told you is that I grew up with quite a stutter as well, just very early on in my life, and it really impacted me at times around confidence and so forth. So I got a bit of work on it, and I largely don't now. You wouldn't know now, but these things, and you've put so much work into your boy and money and everything to get him right. You can these things can be overcome with hard work and with with therapy and so forth, which is what you're doing.
100%. That's what we're doing. And I think the bit that lacks, that will actually help him more, is actually the physical love and care from a mother and a father. I mean, my mom and dad is doing a great job with him. I'm not taking that away. They're doing a really good job with him. But I mean, a kid staying with his mom and dad will develop much quicker, if he's getting all that love and all that therapy. It's just normal.
Yeah, well, we've let 100,000 odd people into the country in the last year, 150 over 2 years. There'll be pregnant women in amongst that lot. There are elderly parents of people here that will go on New Zealand superannuation at some stage. There are all sorts of you go to the hospitals and you see all sorts of recent immigrants in there, receiving New Zealand medical care and so forth. I mean, it's pretty bloody mean-spirited and heartless decision, isn't it?
No, it is, man, 100%. I think they really need to review how they calculate these sort of things, and look at each case individually instead of a blanket approach. I mean, everybody, even current New Zealand citizens, that's not immigrants, that's actually they're born here. Say some of them are also a burden on their own system. It's just it's nature, it's normal. I think. I honestly think they need to review this not ash process. I don't think it's healthy for New Zealand in a whole. Other countries has already dropped that discrimination against kids like this, and it's absolutely wrong. I can't see how they can stand with this. I don't even know how they sleep at night. Honestly, that's knowing they're keeping families apart.
Yeah, see, what's been pushed down our throats in the last 20, 30 years is that all kids go into the classroom. We don't label them. We don't highlight, what's going on here. Everyone's the same, and we get on with it together. And so we don't put labels on these people. This is the new society. Yet here we are as a government going, no, you've got a learning difficulty there. You're not coming in. This is what we've been told not to do, and this is what the government's telling us not to do in real life.
Yeah, it's a bit contradicting, eh? So, we're going to do this, but
I can't believe they haven't met you.
Else.
I can't believe they haven't met you as a family. I would have thought they to make a decision, you got to meet you. You got to see. Not just a file.
I've asked for that. Please meet my boy. Go on a Zoom call. Just have a look. Speak to him yourself. Have a look what he can do. We've seen him photos and things, stuff through that we can show. He's actually physically capable of doing a lot. And still no.
How's your other sons? How's your other boy? How's your other boys coping with it all, and your wife?
I'm going to be straight up honest. I've not had the heart to tell them about this last one. I cannot go through it, man. I cannot tell the boys again.
Oh, really?
Their brother's visa has been declined, and they don't know. So I'm fighting this battle, hoping somebody would wake up and open that door before I have to tell them again. Because every time we've told them, man, it's just destroyed them. Hey, they started crying a lot, and then they struggle for a week or two, and they need to get back up on the bicycle and go. Yeah, man, I haven't told them.
Yeah. What do you say to those people who will? And you've got a lot of support here. There's lots of support coming in here. Lots of support. The texts are just flying in. But what do you say to the odd person who's going to say, well, why don't you just go back to, if you need to be with them, go back to Johannesburg, which is said from a position of ignorance, because those people that say that have no idea what Joburg is like, clearly. But what do you say to them?
Yeah, look, when we left South Africa, the main thing for me was I want to create a different future, a different environment for my kids. It's not just one kid, it's all my kids, as well as for me and my wife. We wanted to take them out of a world of corruption and crime. Crime in South Africa there's hate crime, there's ugly crimes. There's a lot they don't read in the media about it. Things happen there that's ugly. New Zealand is very fortunate how things are going here, and they still complain about a lot. And for me, it was, when we made a decision, it was a very hard decision, and I wish it on no parent ever. But the decision for us was, this is what we want. This is the end goal. We want to be in a new place, a new country, a new start. And we've got 3 boys, not just one. And I need to think of all 3. So yes, I can go back to South Africa. It's going to be a hard start because we've been here for so long. We've fully settled this side. And for us to all go back up and go back there, it's not going to be an easy move. It's going to be real hard. And financially, I cannot see it work. It sounds easier than what people will make it out to be. I can't see it work. And even though I've got family down there, my parents are old. They're going to go to old age home soon. My sister thinking of immigrating. My brother thinking of immigrating. There won't be people there to look after him. So immigration is making this assumption there will be somebody there. There won't be somebody there. He needs to come to his family this side.
I mean, are we that smaller? Are we that small of a country with completely no resources that we can't suck this up? I mean, I just they're playing God with you guys and haven't met you. I just think we're the country of size like this can't handle taking your boy. I mean, we look pathetic.
Yeah, man. I mean, New Zealand is seen as a first world country, compared to what South Africa would be like. And I must say the medical system in South Africa is in a much better condition because it's privatized in South Africa compared to here. So maybe New Zealand need to look at something like that. I don't know how. I'm not a financial advisor or anything in that area. But there's options. There need to be options. Just don't tell people no. Give them options.
Mm. What sort of work do you do, and how many Kiwis do you employ?
Yeah, so I'm a civil engineer specialized in concrete. So we do concrete structural investigations and anything in concrete. That's where I specialize. Done it for 20 years, and we employ currently 5 people in our business. So we look after 5 families, that we feed. And it's currently in the current environment, it's quite a tough gig. But we're boxing along. We first thing first. We look after our people.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, they like family to me too. So, and they know about my story. So.
Yeah, I bet they do. And you've contributed to New Zealand society. You pay your tax, and you've been law abiding. I don't need to say that, but I know you have been. You've paid shitloads of tax.
100%. We do our dues. We're also very involved with the community. I love rugby. I've been coaching since I got here, helping out coaching, and did a bit of club presidency work. So I love giving back to the community. I don't expect anything, back from it. I just love doing it. And government won't look at things like that, but maybe they should, because there's very little people in this world still doing stuff like that because they just too time poor. They're too busy. I'm busy.
We need all of you here. We need people like you. This is what we need. I would have thought this is what we need.
Exactly.
And your other son, you got 2 other sons, and one of them is quite a good rugby player.
Yeah. Heine enjoys rugby a lot. He's playing really well, good rugby. He's been down to Taupo 2 tournaments, and every time he's been down there, he's been selected into the tournament team. So he's got really good talent. I mean, he's young. He's only 13 now, but he's got a game. He understands it. He plays it well disciplined, and he just loves the sports. Loves the Kiwi mates. He would wear his All Black jersey all the way through. He was. Don't tell the Sappers this now. But
let's compulsory if we get.
He's gone to the club yesterday, and he's gone to the rugby club yesterday for training in Pakuranga. And some of the parents were asking him, like, is he that brave to wear that jersey in this club? All the South African boy. I said, no, he loves the All Blacks, man. He loves the All Blacks.
Is there a compassionate clause? Is there a compassionate grounds clause that you can trigger here or at all? Do you know?
We've gone through the humanitarian side of it, to say, like, look, most of his family is this side. And then, like I said earlier, the response was that, look, you've been split up for so long. He's now settled in with your parents, and you guys are settled in here. So technically what they're saying also is that my boys don't really have a brother anymore. They just got a family member. If you read the sentence and you elaborate a bit on it. So that's what went down. I think one thing we did wrong, and I'm open to say that, is we followed advice and if I knew that advice, I probably would have gone differently. Is when we applied for our permanent residence, we were told to just apply for the rest of the family, because you want to secure it, because the way things go, and you read the media and you listen to what people are saying, you want to secure and make things easier. So yeah, we saw a bit of maybe a loophole there. We applied, and then we applied for him later. We did declare him on our application. Tribunal has actually noted that we did declare him, but we didn't do an application for him. But if he was included in our application, we could have then applied for a medical waiver. So to me, it's just like, yeah, okay, so we made a technical error on our end. So should that now completely exclude him? It's just like,
what if you just weren't honest? What about at the start? What if you just hadn't said anything about him? Just if you just said, yeah, here, I've got 3 healthy kids, no worries, we're going to bring them in. What if you just not told them?
Well, that would have been probably worse than anything else. I mean, we're trying to be truthful, and we don't want to hide stuff. So I'm not that type of person who want to hide things. I'll be rather open and say, look, this is what's happening. This is how things are going. So with the medical process, we have to go through a process where because we knew back before we left South Africa, we had to go through medicals, and that's where they picked it up the first time. So, there's no way for us to hide it, really. Yeah. And he was really bad at the youngster. He's stuttering. He couldn't, when he was 5, he couldn't talk a word. He was like mama, baba. He couldn't make a sentence at 5, 6 years old. So that's how bad it was for him. But that's still, there's no reason to separate or exclude him from the whole thing. So.
Yeah, who did you vote for? Did you vote? Can I ask you who you voted for?
Yeah, man, I voted for Luxon. I did. I thought, well, he's the guy who's gonna. This is the party, because they were really pushing family values a lot in their campaign and some areas. I like what they're trying to do around crime reduction and things like that. And to me, it was just like, oh, that's the guy. And I voted for him on that. Family values and how they're doing this, I think it's they've got a different perspective on what family is actually. And like I said previously as well, I think New Zealand's got issues with youth in areas where, if the government focus on how families are supported and families work together, especially moms and dads looking after their kids, they'll have less of a youth issue as well. So don't split families up. Would that be in New Zealand or outside of New Zealand? Try not to split them up. It's chaos. It's not good.
We're forced to.
My wife's mental health.
No good.
My wife's mental health has just gone down big time, and yeah, she's been in on medication just for that case. For that reason. And I'm coping okay. May not. We tend to not talk a lot, but I'm letting it out on this one, unfortunately. So.
I wish that we could have some common sense in this, and it would be great to see Luxon stand up today, in front of the cameras and say, "Folks, I've made a decision today. I've pulled out my prime ministerial card, and I want to talk about getting good immigrants here into New Zealand, good hardworking immigrants that we can look at and say, yeah, these are our kind of people." And I want to introduce you to a family that's been shut out for the last 9 years, and I've made a decision today to let them into the country and to remain a family unit. And so we're going to bring his boy to New Zealand. He would look so good. He would look like he's warm and compassionate and has a heart, because right now he doesn't look like any of those things. You could be his answer to sorting out his own popularity. But of course they don't take any risks. They're robots. They get told what they can and can't do, and it's just the system becomes wooden, wooden and cold, which is where my criticism is at. So I feel angry about this now. I feel really angry about this now for you and your family.
It would be bloody awesome if you can meet me up, phone me up, and talk through it, and make a decision. Let me know what a decision is, and think of my family, think of my boy, and think of the bigger picture. Like you said, we're not robots. It's easy to read a piece of paper and make assumptions of that. Find the facts. Look at the facts.
Yeah, I reckon. Hey, nice to have you on the show. There's lots of feedback in here. Duncan, I'll sign the petition. Duncan, these are the sort of people we want in the country. I'm just reading these through here now. I've got dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of. Here they keep now. Why are we having the 501s? I want this guy. This is look at this weak wooden Luxon. Makes me sick after hearing this. We've got to get this family in. We've got to allow them in. These are the people we want. Look at this. Look at this. It just goes on and on and on. Yeah.
It's good to know, man.
Duncan, haven't heard the whole story. New Zealand must let this family reunite. Cheers, Warwick. Duncan, who do we email? Let's mass email them now. I support you, Duncan. I support France. Look, this is what New Zealanders are saying to you. I'm heartbroken for this amazing family, Duncan. Compassionate grounds, surely. Let them in. Duncan, this government must allow the South African family to remain united here in New Zealand, says Jono. You got so much support here, mate.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. That's why we love this place, eh? There's people with good hearts here, man. 100%.
Yeah, mostly we are. Yeah, mostly we are. Hey, I'll keep in touch with you. I'll give you a yell after the show, and we'll keep going into bat for you and see what we can do. France, have a good day, mate. All the best.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening to my story.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Okay, mate. Thank you. There it is, folks. 0800 332 It's 27 minutes away from 9. I mean, we've had 4,000 or 5,000 501s in from Australia. We've had no say in this, and those they're not all bad guys, but mostly are. And they've caused all sorts of problems in terms of resource heavy for New Zealand. You want to talk about some people who are resource heavy for this country? This will get me off my seat, this one. It's the 501s, and we've had them back from Australia. Thanks, Australia. Good friends you are. And we've had police officers, we've had the courts, we've had the prisons. We've been clogged up by these buggers. And this is a good family, and these are the sorts of people we should have in New Zealand. And I feel really, really, really annoyed about it. And I feel embarrassed about it as a country, and because we're playing God with their lives. It's all very well to say, go back to Joburg. I hear you. I hear some of you say that. But also, this is 9 years deep now. And I bet you these politicians haven't even read the file.